And let us all join in that one prayer. God, give us courage to protect the unborn child. For the child is the greatest gift of God to a family, to a nation, and to the whole world. God bless you.
We've taken this beautiful thing that women can do and we've turned it into a huge negative, an impediment to women fulfilling their dreams. My name is Emily Montague and I am the president of March for Life Mobile.
My name is Eric Cromwell and I am the owner of the law firm of Cromwell and Associates.
Hey everybody, my name is Teresa Lee and this is my husband Kurt Lee, and we are ministers in this area. We'll have a Choose Life. My ministry name is Choose Life Incorporated.
We are strong as women. We can be mothers. We can have careers. We can do all of these things. We don't have to kill our child in order to do all of the things that we want to do or we are called to do.
It's funny when as a parent to watch my children grow, how much it humbles me and teaches me about life. My daughter came home when she was in 7th grade. She was very involved in her 7th grade pro-life class or group. And I was very proud of that. One of her friends had come in and she was very sad. She said, well, you know what, if I get pregnant, I'll just have an abortion. And she was saying it for shock value. And my daughter was very upset. This was her friend. And she was crying. She was hysterical. She came home, she was crying. And I remember I came home from work and there was my wife and my son and there's my daughter, and she was crying. And I said, what's going on? And so she told the story.
That's one of the things that we do talk to young adults about, is when they're beginning to choose mates or have relationship when it's time for marriage and they're ready to go down that path, that they begin to think about what their passion and their purpose is, because whoever they yoke up with needs to have either a similar purpose or be willing to follow them wherever their purpose may lead.
The news came out that there was going to be the National Women's March. And not only were they going to have the National Women's March, it was sponsored by Planned Parenthood. It was, they were rejecting pro-life organizations, saying that they couldn't be a part of it. And I'm a woman, and that really offended me because I do see that there are ways that women have been oppressed, even in our society.
And she was crying, and I said, what's going on? And so she told the story. And I looked at her and she said, why would she say this? Why would my friend say this? And I looked at her and said, it's because she was hurting, she was in pain, she was looking for attention. And my daughter just kind of looked at me. This was a beautiful moment because I was transformed 35 years earlier. And I said, at the time, I wasn't in faith. I was anti-religious at that time, and I went to a Catholic high school.
And back when I was these kids that are their ages, back when I was 16 and I graduated from high school, I made that decision to have that procedure, and it was just out of ignorance.
I know that kid never forgot, because that kid was me. I was the one who said those awful things. I was the one who preached everything that I heard the culture saying.
I knew that if there was someone like me around when I needed to know an alternative or wisdom or given just another way out, the Bible talks about that God gives us a way of escape.
Yes.
And if there was someone that was there kind of banging on the window or saying, hey baby girl, let me talk to you, I see you're going down this path, had you thought about it, or what's leading you that way, or just kind of begin the conversation in my family or just someone on the street. At that time I was so lost and hurting. I know that I may have made a different choice.
Not equality in the sense I can do everything that a man can do or a man can do everything I can do, because that is not what I mean. We each male and female are created to do specific things, and they're complementary. And I think when we recognize that and we honor that in both men and women, the sky's the limit. I think we can do a lot to heal our society, because a lot of peace and love will come from that.
But it wasn't until I heard my daughter, she was my oldest, I heard her heartbeat on an ultrasound. And I still hadn't come back into full faith, that I heard that ultrasound and there's something different here. There's something different.
The Bible says in the multitude of counselors there is safety. And what my wife was saying, that when she was in that predicament, she didn't seek out any counsel. She decided to go with her own thoughts. And going with your own thoughts can sometimes is a way that seems right, but the end of it can be their death. So it's better to seek out other wise counsel. People may have been where you've been before. You know, my mother used to always talk about, hey, you can't tell me how to get downtown unless you've been downtown yourself. So it's wise to talk to other people who have more experience than you, that have lived longer than you, and could give you some wisdom that could help you out. And that's what this pro-life and this March for Life is about. It's not about pointing fingers. It's about being a place where people can come and get answers. So if you find yourself in that situation where you're concerned about what to do, I say seek out people, and most importantly, seek out God and His Word, and you can never go wrong with that.
I would just ask, for those of you who might not agree with our standpoint, to ask yourself, how might we come together and work together? Because yes, we disagree on abortion, and I will never back down on that. But there are so many ways that we do agree, like supporting single mothers and trying to provide health care for all people, trying to support mothers who don't have resources. And that should not be dividing us.
As I came into faith after that event and started realizing the beauty of life and what the gift that we're given, I started recognizing the fact that I need to make up for the things that I've done in my past. And so I support a pro-life movement for that reason.
The Bible also speaks about talking up for the voiceless, yes, and those who have no voice. And that's what we're supposed to do. And of course, through our prayers, because that's how we connect with God and talk to Him. So if we pray and and use our voices to make a difference, then every voice matters.
Having a citywide march allows all the schools to come together and to see how big of a number of their peers are supporting the same cause. And then that allows those people who maybe, I don't know if I want to go to a March for Life, they see the numbers and they're like, okay, well, I'm not alone, I can do that. Because it's hard to be the only one or feel like you're the only one standing up for a cause.
That we're all together, and that laws that promote death need to be ended. But it comes from changing people's hearts. It doesn't come from lawmakers. It doesn't come from politicians. It comes from each one of us, that we stand together and say, no, this can't be.
We need to come together as a country and a nation and to really work to support these women. And I think that working together, we could go a long way.
Perfectly you've placed me, beautifully you made me, formed me in the womb with your own hands. Every day of my life was recorded, not a moment was left out of order. My life was in your hand. You've given me a gift that will change the world. This child to you is no surprise. If I can just believe, all I have to do is see it through your eyes. and I choose life, and I choose